Men have always led the world. We invent, build, and maintain. The fact that you can make more money than the motherfucker paved the road for me to get here is a joke. That's not disrespect to you, but one thing I will say is that you can't do that in Dubai. When I'm in Dubai, not only is it safer, but you see more families. You see kids, you see things like this. It's a beautiful thing. And you know, I'm all about people having their free rights and everything, but I do think Dubai gets that right, because if America doesn't do something to save the men so men can be good enough to get good, beautiful women like you ladies, then we are always going to have this problem.
Yo, what up? Marco Brown here, and these are my thoughts. Back at you with an honest opinion, back at you with an unbiased review. Okay, now, so we're taking a look at comments that were made on the At Whatever podcast, with the lead guy being Brian. He has a formula which is made up of OnlyFans or type of attractive women on the panel, and they always go up against this so-called alpha chad or this red pillar to stir up controversy and get a conversation going, which is all premeditated. It's obviously for clicks, in my own opinion, and does spark an interesting conversation, so there's always room for that. And in this segment, there's a guy on there named, I think he's Jay Wooler, I think that's his name, and I'll probably do research after and figure out what his name is. But I see him quite often on the socials. He goes onto a variety of podcasts and speaks on different things, and he seems to be a very successful guy. And he makes very profound comments on this segment of the podcast. I haven't watched the entire thing, but strictly focusing on this segment so I can give my thoughts on it. He makes an interesting point. He says men built the world. I guess men conquered the world. They built the world, I guess, to create the civilization that we have now. Okay, fair point. Because it is the reality. Whether it makes sense, but it is the reality. He links that to the fact that there's an attractive OnlyFans model on the panel who is obviously earning a lot of money from OnlyFans, because these women are making a ridiculous amount of money based on their ability to monetize subscriptions. It's just, and I guess take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of men out there who are addicted to this sort of material, and it's so accessible and so easy to get. So there are women that are really monetizing this process and this platform, which, to be honest, it was created also by a man, and gave the opportunity to everybody, but women are the ones who have taken it to the next level, and become very, very rich from this process. But to stay on point, the point he was trying to make was he finds it ridiculous that the fact that an OnlyFans model, like the woman that he's referring to, can earn so much money, okay, more than the man who laid down or built the roads that he used to come to the podcast to have a conversation. And then here's where I have a slight issue with that comment. Okay, the thing about the new world that we're in now, right? The new world that we have now is not discriminating against anyone's ability to make money. You could be a man, you could be a woman, you could be of a different racial background, you can be a dog. It doesn't matter what you are. If you can engage in the marketplace and you can meet demand with supply, and you can monetize that to the scale that you want to, especially from an e-commerce platform, there's no boundaries as to how much money you can make. So to say that society is wrong just because that fundamental ability to do that, is in play, that makes zero sense whatsoever, right? That's not a society we want to live in, right? He's basically saying that a woman should not be able to make that amount or that vast amount of money because a man who lays the roads down can't do so. You got to really think for a moment and pause and say to yourself, what are you trying to say? Because I guarantee you, the man who lays the roads and the bricks and all that sort of stuff down and the infrastructure, he probably doesn't make the same amount of money you yourself, Jay Waller, make. he doesn't come anywhere close to you because you're successful as well, right? So then what are you trying to insinuate? Are you trying to insinuate that because she's a woman, it should be unheard of that you should make that sort of money over a man? That's ridiculous. If I'm trying to think objectively as well, it could also come from the standpoint of, if women keep earning this amount of money, this obscene amount of money, and they keep outmatching the men, in mass, then they're not going to be attracted to the availability of men that are out there, because women typically date upwards. They date for status. They date men that earn either the same or greater than themselves. So if these men can't match them, automatically they're disqualified, right? Yeah, it definitely is going to have an impact. There's no two ways about it. Okay. But however, the fundamental premise of saying that it should be criminal, pretty much, that a woman should be able to earn that level of money, that vast amounts of money, over and above a man who lays the brickwork down on the roads to enable him, who also is a man, to drive to a podcast or to drive anywhere, is obscene. It's just ridiculous. You can't say that. That's going against every aspect of business and economics. And the funny thing enough, there are men on OnlyFans, right? If you look at the catalogue of people that are on OnlyFans, it's substantially outnumbered by women who are making serious amount of money. But there are a few men on there who are making their money as well. So the little bit of men that are out there, they are making a large amount of money, right? So it's funny how we don't criticize those men for making a lot of money on OnlyFans, but we're always going after the women who are making an obscene amount of money. The man who lays the bricks down, it is what it is. It's the industry you're in, it's the sector you're in, it's called business. If you're someone who's a talented tech developer, if you're a talented web programmer, you sit at your computer all day long, right? But you're going to make a large amount of money, way more than the guy who lays the bricks on the roads down and the lays down the roads that you use to drive in. The people that are on these podcasts doing content creation, some of them are making a lot of money. Should that be criminal as well? What about the guy who sits in front of his computer all day long, plays computer games? Or those streamers? There's some streamers out there that make a lot of money, like Kai Cenat, people like those sort of guys. They sit down for the most part all day making content, playing computer games, streaming some sort of video game, or they have an audience that they produce content for, and they're making loads of money month in, month out. So should it be criminal that they're making that sort of money, or is it because it's a woman making that sort of money? This is where the boundaries of saying women can't do something as opposed to men is ridiculous. And then he goes on to make a comment about, in Dubai, like, yeah, Dubai, you're not gonna have access to corn out there. But the women in Dubai make a lot of money. There are women there that make a lot of money. I've been to Dubai. They make a lot of money out there. There are some very, very successful women out there. The difference is their male counterparts are way more successful, or as successful as their female counterparts. So therefore, there's a level of accountability and responsibility for being able to provide. It should be equally the same in the West, right? If women are out there making a lot of money, it should be incumbent on men to strive to better themselves, right? And these things don't happen overnight. They take time. I don't like the double standard that he presents as well. It's like he will on one hand speak from the concept of morality and say the decline of men in American society, there's no families and men can't get women and so on and so forth, right? And then he'll link it to the fact that in Dubai they got families and so on and so forth. You gotta remember, in Dubai there's a lot of high performing men out there and they've got families, and even the guys probably out there that are not as high performing, they believe in family. Why? Because there's a strong religious ethos out there. It's led by strong religious views, and those views practice upon marriage and families and so on and so forth. So you can't link that to the West. But then You need to look in the mirror yourself, because you don't have family. You're extremely successful. You could make a woman your wife and then create family and build this strong society that you're claiming about, you and all your companions that you roll with in the red pill space. But none of you do. All of you have got single women chasing you by the truckload. You commit to none of them. I don't know if you've got any children or not, because if you have any children, you or any one of your counterparts, then you're contributing to fatherless societies in the West. You're contributing to it. So on the one hand, you exercise the morality card when you're speaking to women and what they're doing and calling it immoral, but at the same time you're chasing women and you are smashing up all these women with no commitment on the other hand, and it's okay because it's how you want to live your life. The double standards is unbelievable. And then they will use this whole coin of, well, men and women are different. Yeah, men and women are different, but the results are still the same, right? No, there's still no family. There's still no family. There's still no commitment. There's still no uplift in morality. To become a brand and to be sponsored by large companies. There's opportunity like never before now. Okay, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity now for those people entering into this side of the business world. Companies now are spending their money on individuals rather than big time celebrities to market their products. They're now invested in influencers now. So who's winning? Everyone's winning. So it's all about opportunity. OnlyFans, I'm not a big fan of OnlyFans, to be honest, but the concept of being able to take something, monetize it, and make a living out of it, that's what I'm a fan of. All these women have done is just taken these male fantasies, which have always been there. They've always been a playboy, but they've always been monetized from the back end by the men, to be honest. The men are the ones that are making the most money. And I'm not talking about the male participants. I'm talking about the people who run the companies, the directors and the people that are in charge. They're all the ones who are making the money, like the Hugh Hefners and all those people. These are the people that are making the money, right? OnlyFans is giving the opportunity for you, the content creator, to make loads of money out of this. It's funny because he says this about this woman, but he's also got a friend named Sterling Cooper, right? He's been an adult star for years. He's very successful. He makes a lot of money, and he coaches loads of regular men, and I'm pretty sure some women as well, but he coaches a lot of regular men on how to have the best sexual experience in their life, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in dating in general, and how to level up and be a better person. He's good friends with that guy. So is it criminal that he's making loads of money? He's making a lot of money out of the adult industry as well. So why is it that the women are making a lot of money? It's a problem. It goes back to that male and female dynamic of men are not comfortable with this idea that women are making so much money. And not only are they making so much money, they're making so much money on their terms, using their bodies and their sexualities. Whereas before, back in the day, it was men that were monetizing the woman's body more. Now women are monetizing it themselves. And I guess it's a straight contradiction of feminism as well. But I guess feminism, which women argue, it's their ability to have the freedom of choice as to do whatever they want to do with their body and their choice. Okay, whatever, that's something else, they can have that. But my thing is business, e-commerce, economics, everything, meeting demand with supply. These women are doing it. So who are we to complain? I mean, we can argue about why the adult industry is no good for society. We can argue that all day long. But what we can't argue is the fact that these women have created something out of nothing for themselves on their terms, and they've captured the male fantasy, the male desire to surround themselves with these sorts of women for a fee. You can't get mad at that, as far as I'm concerned, because if men were doing this, nobody would complain. If men was doing this, nobody would complain. And it doesn't matter if men built this world; it doesn't really matter. We're in a new world. I mean, J. Will didn't build no roads. You know, all these red pillars, all these red pillars that complain that men built the world and men ran this earth and we controlled everything. They were not their ancestors doing this. They weren't, right? They weren't doing this. So we're in a world whereby, you know, you're living a privileged life. You don't have to get up and go to war. You don't have to do half the things that our ancestors used to do. Yeah, you didn't have to be scared that some tyrant was going to come and invade your village and then destroy all the men in the land and then take your women. You don't have to worry about it no more, right? You don't have to do manual labor anymore. You can get up, probably produce content, and all of a sudden make millions. 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. You can make all of that with a click of a button. So if women are doing the same thing, why are we complaining? We shouldn't be. We should be competing and outperforming them and showing them this is why we are men and this is why we control the world. Not forcing them to stop something that men are encouraging them to do, because men are buying the subscriptions, right? So we need to force the men to stop, and we're not going to do that because nobody tells men what to do, okay? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. These are my thoughts. Marco Brown here with an honest opinion, unbiased review. Come back for the next one. See you next time. Peace.